Hello and welcome to our But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio recap / catch up / crossover. I am Jeff, kinda sitting again in the host chair here with my amazing co-host and partner in this. She will give you and us a little biz that she's got, and then I'm going to have some questions for her after a little while. So, Cindy?
Hello, MegaMini Crossover minus Emily. Maybe next week we'll get her back, but it's been a little quiet here as things like our shows start to wind down and summer kind of comes into fall. So, I mean, we're still chugging along. We've got obviously Vanderpump, the Vanderpump Rules. That's always going to be a thing. That's 2 days a week that we get, and we are deep in the heart of season 5, which arguably the absolute most canon season. Seasons 4 and season 5 are the absolute most canon and the most fruitful for the memes and the lines and all the things that we understand about Vanderpump Rules. So that's where we are.
But there's lots of great stuff to come, though, right? For those that haven't watched before,
for sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Don't scare me.
But we're at the height right now. Like we're really deep in Vanderpump country. And Nolan and I have finished season 2 of McBee, which right now Stephen McBee Jr. is everywhere. Steve McBee Sr. is slated to be released from prison on maybe in September. And so that's going to really kick up our conversations about this McBee family and what the F they are doing out there in Missouri. Because they'd be doing something. And I was going to talk about Sally Carson later, but she's sort of the connective tissue because she's been on both Southern Hospitality, Southern Charm, Summer House, and now she's made her way. She's made her way into the Valley Vanderpump universe, and now she's in the McBee Dynasty universe too. So she's really getting around, and I love that for her.
Who is this? Like, I mean, how is she doing that?
Sally Carson is a castmate on Southern Hospitality, and on there, she kind of a little bit saw Craig Conover.
There's
I believe
something.
it was.
What are you holding back? You're not wanting to tell me.
Well,
something?
I was trying to think. I think because she started out liking Craig, and then I think that she kind of like crushed on Austin a little bit, and then she jumped over to Southern Hospitality, in which she had some interaction. I think she was friends with Mia.
So she's dated people in all these shows.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was.
She's fucked them. Yeah. I was gonna say.
Okay.
And so she, for sure, nobody's making any secrets about it.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I meant. But yeah.
Yeah, and so you will notice there is no Real Housewives of Orange County tonight because we have decided to forego that. Emily got bored with it. I'll still be watching it, so I might carve out a OC corner here and there because I cannot give up on my OG ladies. But instead, we're going to talk about Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip 20-year edition, in which they're traveling around, visiting a lot of housewives, and Nene Leakes is coming back. Like Teresa Giudice, it's going to be really fun. Emily and I are going to cover that. That's the 9th. And then newer, close to home news is House of Stassi, in which I have watched the trailer many times. I thought that Katie was coming back as a friendly face to help it, but it doesn't seem that so. It seems like they're going to have to hash out some beefs that exist.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that.
I saw a little snippet of just Katie, not really a trailer, just kind of a part of an interview with her, and it just straight up like, yeah, we got some shit to talk about. You know, she was this way back in 23, and here we are now. Like, all right, I'm interested. That's all I needed to hear. I'm in.
And you are getting oriented because like I said, we are only in season 5 of Vanderpump Rules. And so in that timeline, Stassi is single. She's not met anybody, but in the timeline in which House of Stassi is happening, she's married to her husband, Beau, who is our age. She's 47. And she has 2 children and all of this. And so in order to get oriented, you are dipping into Vanderpump Villa. How's that going?
Correct. Great. I like it more than I thought I was going to.
Really? Yeah. I am shocked that
I liked the show more than I thought I would. There's some people that, I mean, it's very similar to, I think, your feelings about some folks on Love Island, maybe.
So Marciano, speaking of, Marciano has been confirmed. Him and the old girl from Mormon Wives, they're confirmed. They're in it. Like, they're posting social media posts together.
Yeah.
So they're
I even
together.
know about that one, so I figure that's old as hell.
Yeah.
All that work she made us do.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of all the stuff you're into, what's some stuff making you happy right now?
So this is a little older. And so I will have people to sort of reach back into June of 2026. And when I say older, that's what I mean, because, the internet sleeps for no one. But there is a episode of Watch What Happens Live right after the Summer House.
Oh, okay.
Episode. Yes, right after the Summer House episode airs, and he has Caitlin Collins and Danielle from In the City on. Caitlin Collins, if many of you may know, she is a correspondent on CNN. She has a couple of shows. She's in the Oval Office. She's in the White House press briefing room. She gets a lot of heat from the president. She gets a lot of heat in that way, and she is cool as the other side of the pillow.
She does the work.
And
yeah.
Yeah. And so she is on Watch What Happens Live with Andy, talking very informed about the Summer House reunion, about other beefs going on. Like, Andy did a quick fire quiz, like, okay, whose side are you on? And he names all of these really kind of esoteric beefs that are happening on different shows. And she knew every one of them. And so, further proof that the smartest person likes reality television.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that at all. Like, I'm so happy to know she has something to wind down with that she really enjoys. Because I've seen her in those conversations, with the ice running through her veins, and you're like, what are you doing after this? Because I know, like, this press conference is winding down. It's 8 at night. You're going to do one more CNN wrap up, and then you are done. What do you do? I'm so happy she has something for herself to get into, and I would hate to see her coming in any trivia. Like, oh, it's Caitlin Collins. Like, but we're doing reality TV. Like, I still hate it. No, she must know everything. If she's heard it, she has locked that into her brain, and she knows it.
I just find it so fascinating when, like, streams cross, like Megan Thee Stallion being on Love Island, or Lady Gaga commenting on Vanderpump Rules. Like, I just find it to be, or Jennifer Lawrence being the one that broke the news about the Summer House leak. Like, this crossover, this idea that this low culture art that is reality TV is only for so many these kinds of people and these kinds of people. But then we see these celebrities who have proven themselves to be, talented and whatever, they dip into it. Or when Obama makes a joke at the frickin' correspondence dinner about Vanderpump Rules. Like, I just love to see these worlds infiltrate each other, because pop culture is pop culture, as you would learn in my class if you come and see it, but that it is really, really important to understand what people are watching, what a lot of people are watching, and what people are entertained by, so that we can understand what our culture does. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute as I climb on my soapbox and rant and rave about some things in a minute. But I just think it's really valuable to kind of check in on what a lot of people are watching. What's making you happy this week?
And you and Obama share something now, right? An educational spot. Y'all have a very similar certain university in common.
Yes. So, thank you so much for bringing up. I'm too modest to say it. I'm too modest to really.
You're shaking like Stassi at a paint and sip class to say this.
Yes.
I think is what.
But I've recently discovered the Harvard X courses, and this is, I mean, the sky's the limit for me. Harvard X offers free courses on anything that you can imagine. I mean, from marketing to photography to ASL. Specifically, I am taking a course on predictions, omens, oracles, and prophecies, and just sort of the history of the way in which people predict the future. And I am only on casting lots right now. That's what we are studying, which if anybody has...
You're very new. You just started. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if anybody ever went to Sunday school, they understand that casting lots is just an old-timey way to say throwing dice. And,
certain Sunday schools, not all of them.
Well, yes, but like there's quite a few verses in the Bible about casting lots. And speaking of, they cast lots on the Odyssey. We're going to talk about it in a minute. But it's really fun, and you can go at your own pace. And I will say this: it's free to take the course. But if you want the official certificate, if you want to be certified in that way, you do have to pay for the certification of it all. You have to take a test and so. But I mean, I'm chugging along. I love it so much. Like I enjoy it. I'd be a student forever if I could. I love school.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I'm just at home
You have a
studying my
lot of that
shit.
under your belt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just at home studying my shit. I love it so much.
Well, what's making me happy is the same stuff I was doing instead of going to school back when a lot of people my age, were 30 years ago. I'm in the middle. Things aren't slowing down in my world, the reality TV world for you maybe, but it's a very busy summer tour season. The big ones for me, the Fish, the Billy Strings, the Widespread Panic, all the festivals
Oh,
going on right now.
Widespread Panic.
That's literally yucking
I'm
my
sorry.
yum.
I
Right,
have
right
trauma
there.
with Widespread Panic. Okay, I have trauma, specific trauma.
I got to see Fish just last week in our state over in Savannah. I'm
Yeah.
getting to see Billy next month and a few non-jam things as well. Not for radio. I talked about a few episodes ago. Hopefully this next week and at the Fox.
I
And
love the Fox. It's a really cool. It's a cool venue.
yeah, and I mean, I'm also in week 3 or 4 of pretty much no news unless I see it on at the gym, which is
Yeah.
great. I only get a tidbit every now and then, and it upsets me a little bit, and I try to move on.
It's upsetting. But as a person who feels like if I take my eyes off the horizon, that the plane will ultimately go
Yes.
down in flames.
Yes.
How have you disconnected from it? Because I can't. Like, I have to know. Like, I have to know what fresh hell I am waking up to every single day. So how have you just sort of disconnected from it? Because this is
that's why it's so easy for me to immerse myself in it. When I can, because there's a lot that is a nightmare to me right now. And so it's kind of, I can't stop looking at it like I'm going to figure out why. And now that I step out every now and then, when I look back in, it's the same people doing the same stupid shit and not a lot,
but it's always
and then
like new stupid shit.
it isn't really, it
It's
seems like the same over and over again when you're not paying attention to it, and I'll know it's this many days since we've heard from McConnell now, I'm not going to spend all day figuring out what's going to make me more upset about it when it's something that's already upsetting. Like, this is what's happened in the war now. Like, you could have ducked out of that news 4 months ago and it's still the same. It's over. It's not. This is what we're calling them now. And not great decisions are being made is what I think. And so it's great not to have it consume as much of my day physically, and therefore my brain power.
It has a negative effect on me, but I'm too controlling. I have to know some things. But if summer is winding down, as a person in the education arena and a person who still has a kid who is in school, once August hits, like summer is over for me. Like we're in the last final bits of summer for me. So I'm trying to wring out the last few minutes, fast fun things of summer so that I can get the most out of it. And
so don't,
of OC. Also, Real Housewives of New York is coming out on my birthday. On my birthday. Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart is going to make some appearances on the New York, and our old friend Carol Radziwill too. So, and Real Housewives of London. So I need to get to watch it. I mean, I've been watching a lot of shit lately, but that's
slowing down
all
for
the
you.
Real Housewives. Yeah. Well, it's slowing down for professionally us because we're not talking about as much. I still consume at the same velocity that I always have, but in terms of what we're talking about, it's been a little bit slower.
Yeah, no, I got you. And one thing we did both do this week, but separately, was the Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard you talk about it much. You got to see me right after I saw it. What's your quick thoughts? It's only been a day.
I liked it. It was about 30 minutes too long. There was a lot of things that just felt a little overwrought. So, I mean, for real, like, we don't need all of this too. You know, I loved the scenes with Cersei. I loved the scenes with the Cyclops. I loved the scenes with the Giant, which, by the way, my son, me and Ethan went to go see it. He's 17. He informed me that there's the scene where the Giants, where they're fighting them.
Yeah.
That was practical effects. They used really tall people and then really short people to do it instead of any kind of CGI or AI. And so Ethan loves Christopher Nolan in a way that, you know, you can't ever say anything. I do realize that I think I might hate Robert Pattinson. He is not a good actor. Like, he just is not. And he took me out of it. Every time this man was on screen, when he's chewing the scenery with his face and his teeth and his eyebrows, it just took me out of it completely.
I don't dislike him. I think he's in some good movies. I think he's in some good stuff.
Yes, he is in some good stuff. His performance, however, is lackluster in most things.
You have the Twilight baggage holding you down, whereas I don't really have that.
I do want to say this too, especially as my 30th high school reunion bears down on me this weekend. It is jarring to see Matt Damon as the old, wizened hero archetype. Right? It's like, even in because Odysseus obviously is this man who has spent his whole life journeying and this and that and this and that. And even in sort of the flashbacks of his, quote, younger days that we saw, he was still very much the old elder. And that is super jarring because where is my Good Will Hunting? Like, it's just wild to me.
What year did Good Will Hunting come out?
Sir, I don't need you to interject your logic in time and space. I'm just
if you had thought about it.
But I'm just saying, I'm saying my 30th high school reunion is bearing down on me. But like, it seems weird for him to be the old guy, for him to be like the grandpa of it all.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. This is my favorite Matt Damon in a while, I would say. I've really enjoyed him in a bunch over the years, but it doesn't always hit for me. This was fantastic. Like, I don't even know if I necessarily want to see him do like more of this, but in this one, it was great. I enjoyed it. I kind of liked it as I sit more with it. You know, it is big. It is Christopher Nolan. It is heavy. He gets that epic feeling upon you, and there is some stuff that is drawn out, but I think it's effective overall. And I think if you're thinking about seeing it in the big screen is definitely the way to go at least once. I don't know if I'll go see it again in the big screen. I've seen most Nolan movies multiple times in the theater, but I will check in with it again. And I did make it almost 200 pages into the book before I gave that up.
Yeah.
Since we gave that shout out on here before.
Well, I think Ethan is reading it too. And this is going to sound so sort of like academic snooty wise, but I teach parts of the Iliad in my class, in which, you know, Agamemnon and Achilles kind of like, you know, steal the show in that way. And so I don't have a whole lot of experience with that. I will say this too about going to the movies. We saw it in IMAX. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. But as a person with sensory issues where my seats were shaking. My seat was shaking with the volume and the bass of the movie sound. That felt hard for me. Like, there were some times where I wanted to put my hands over my ears and just like, you know, rock, because it was just so loud. And I am obviously undiagnosed. I am completely neurotypical in every way. There is nothing about me that screams any sort of neuroatypical.
Did you say and RHOC a second ago, by the way, before we go down this road as a joke any longer?
That way.
I know.
No, I was teasing about that. But like, even Ethan had a better time processing it than I did. But like, for real though, I really did want to put my hands over my ears sometimes because it was
I had a wonderful time with
loud.
It's the way to do it. I mean, this, like, Christopher Nolan doing the Odyssey, this is what it should look like. The boats, like, I mean, I thought it was exactly what I would have expected from him, and I thought it delivered in that way, for sure. You know
what would be my dream? What would be my dream is that if Christopher Nolan did the Odyssey as a series, so each one of these like quests, like the Calypso bit of it or the Cersei bit of it,
like if the next 9 movies he made were just stories of this, like from
the side
Homer.
Quests. Right, exactly. Because obviously we know Odysseus sort of and Homer invented the hero's journey, but wouldn't it just be so fun to spend like an hour episode in which Christopher Nolan directed of an episode of just Cersei, because I am very, very preoccupied with Cersei. I've read a lot about her and Clytemnestra too.
Now you're on to Calypso.
Yeah. Yes, and but I'm trying to find a good one. So people, if you guys know of a really good text, like a really good fiction book, a retelling or whatever of Calypso, send it to me, because I'm having a hard time finding one that feels right. But wouldn't it just be so fun to have like a series of it?
Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate it for what it is. So there's something about it being special, what he picks to put in there. But if he did another one, I'm sure I'd be there for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I liked it. I liked it too. I am happy we went to the movies and see it, because anytime I can carve out with my 17-year-old, I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah,
but
I'm so happy he enjoyed it.
I'm not sure I would do IMAX again. That felt assaulting.
I'm all for it. It worked in this one. It doesn't always. I thought it definitely worked. Well, that's something that I really liked out. Staying home, staying in, and watching something. We watched Legends.
Can you hear the cat meowing? Can you hear the cat meowing?
Yes.
Like, she's just going crazy. I don't know what it is. Like, anyway, sorry. I can just hear her through my headphones.
Mine too. From miles away. Not even on here. I can hear her outside.
Just hear her. You stand outside and start hearing her.
Staying in wise, we watched Legends on Netflix. Kind of a British crime drama seen from the lawman side of things, about a small group of customs officers, like late 80s, early 90s, fighting off a heroin epidemic in Liverpool. Pretty intense. Great Steve Coogan performance. Really good. We only took a break to watch yet another Netflix hates cruise documentary about how scary cruises can be, because Netflix is taking down the cruise ship industry single-handedly.
My Lanta.
But it is
we
good.
Watched it. We watched that one too. What's it called? Shipwrecked or whatever? Was that the one?
Where's a newer one? Oh, you mean the poop cruise? There's poop cruise.
We watched
this
the one
is Shipwrecked. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. So, and I made Carla watch it, because, Carla sometimes can be a little bit more nervous about things, and sometimes she can be a little bit more suggestible. So, like,
everything's fine at their house. It's all, everything's fine.
Well, and she really likes cruises, because we were talking about for one of my next big birthday, maybe take a cruise. And I was like, hey, babe, come in here and watch it with us. Because, me and Nolan will be watching some real scary shit sometimes in terms of true crime and documentaries. And we're all sitting there just like with our mouths hanging open, like, oh my God. And it was so scary. And so I don't know. I don't want to poo. Speaking of poo cruise, I don't want to poo on the cruise industry as a whole, but I have seen enough to know some shit can go real left.
Yeah, no, like I said, that's Netflix's main
It's not their main
task for the year right now, is taking down the cruise industry. They're doing a great job of it. Doing great.
Yeah, I know. Like, so, they're going to be suing Netflix because people are canceling their trips left and right, I bet, because it's brutal.
But it was good. It's pretty intense at times. Kind of a smallish cast, but like a real far-reaching story. I like that. So Legends on Netflix.
Isn't there also a show that is like from the DC universe called Legends?
I don't know.
I think maybe there's some sort of comic book adjacent show called Legends
that doesn't sound wild to me.
That I want to say it's maybe CW. Does the CW still exist?
Yeah. In fact, I recorded something for them just the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. How do I get to it? Because, like, some of my most formative things that I've watched are CW, like Gossip Girl and Veronica Mars.
No, I recorded something for a CW show, syndicated show, the other day. I don't know how you get to it. Well, you don't have regular cable or anything, right?
No, I do not. I have Hulu Live.
Well, then maybe they have an app.
Yeah, or maybe I could go to the Hulu Live. This is riveting stuff. Riveting stuff, everybody. Jeff teaches Sunday how to TV.
We can take this out.
I won't. I am who I am. I have also been watching a lot of stuff because heaven forbid I be alone with my thoughts in a silent room. So if I am writing, if I am grading, if I am, working on the podcast, I always have something on in the background. And I love a dating show. So I have blown through The Ultimatum, Married at First Sight on Netflix. Also, of course, over the summer, Love Island. And I, Jeff, am disturbed at the state of gender politics, like dating, like marriage politics, sexual politics. Like it is, I don't know. I don't know if I could survive it if I was a 27-year-old, like out there in the world trying to do it. Like it is tough stuff. The men are, yeah, the men and the women are, I don't know. Have you watched any of these shows? Have you watched any dating shows this summer?
Nope, not at all.
Is that on purpose or is it just sort of happenstance?
Well, it's not something I really watch a lot of. Like I watched The Ultimatum the first couple of years, so I might check back into that. But Love Island, I never ever did.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's because I'm getting so much distance from them because of my age, but I have a daughter who is of these people's age, sometimes maybe older and younger than the people on here.
Definitely.
And like the way so I know that I talk a lot about like the manosphere and the red pill, but even when these folks are not just sort of obviously incel or obviously misogynistic, the poison of that particular culture is trickling in. Jeff, I cannot tell you how many times I heard the phrase, lean into my feminine energy or masculine energy, or I want a man who is a protector, a provider, or a woman who says things like, I want to be home and be of service to my husband. And in themselves, in their literal, like denotative examinations, that's fine, right? Like that's okay. Those are choices that people make. That's what feminism is. Thank you very much, Gigi from Vanderpump Rules.
That's right.
But in the context of what we understand these people are consuming, the media they're consuming, it is real dog whistles for a very specifically traditional setup that is feeling wild to hear from 25-year-olds. And the phrase, oh my God, this phrase right here, pour into you. I poured it into you every single day and you never ever gave back to me. All I need is someone to pour into me. And it's like dog whistle therapy speak, but like it turns into like more like obedience and relationships, like or respect and stuff. And it's so strange to see the shift from 10 years ago to what we're seeing now. And like they're using phrases like lustful on Love Island. These 25-year-old people are being afraid of being perceived as lustful. And it's just weird. It's so weird.
What does pour into you mean?
I think it comes from this particular idea that I want to offer you what you need to thrive. So I'm going to pour into support into you. I'm going to pour love into you. I'm going to pour into holding you up and holding you and valuing you, which is another thing, a high value woman versus a high value man. Do you want to know the difference between a high value woman and a high value man?
One wears a bow in their hair?
Oh, no, if only it was that wholesome.
I thought it was a Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man scenario, and that's all it was, the difference.
Oh, if only. No, a high-value man, in the terms of this kind of like bubble of dating in 2026, which thank God I'm not there. Like, thank you, baby Jesus in the manger. I'm not dating.
Let me guess. He can provide. He has a good job. He has a good family, like good standing, and she is willing to stay home and provide at home and like look after the family.
Yes, but there's also one more major thing that a high value woman must meet.
She hasn't had many partners.
There it is. There's a lot of conversation about body count and yes, it is. It's disgusting. And the idea that women are less valuable the more men they I said this on the Vanderpump Rules podcast. All right, so women are less valuable the more men they sleep with. Men are also less valuable if they sleep with men. It seems like sleeping with men is the problem.
And
the irony of it is it's just lost on this particular generation.
You've thrown that phrase out on another episode of ours, so I'm going to take sleeping with men as the problem. Hold on. We're going to, not all are in that camp. But I think that needs to happen some. But no, and everyone that's in your 50s and 60s who's responsible for these kids, I'm upset with you. I'm upset with you big time.
It's me. And I have one, and I mean, I think, I don't know, well, I think, I don't want to blame everything on COVID, but I think a lot of these children were in high school during COVID, and so they just did not learn. I don't know. And there's also, they're very susceptible to this trad wife situation. And
that's why I guessed all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's because it's part of the messaging that we're hearing and part of all this political movement to return to a very, very traditional conservative family formation, and that women need to, make for instance, on Married at First Sight. This is the first time that Netflix has ever produced this season, or the season unto itself. And there is a man and a woman, and there's this conversation, and these folks are a little bit older though. And there's this conversation about how she makes a lot of money. She is a very, very high earning executive at a delivery company, Amazon. And there's this concern that the man that she is matched with is going to make less money than her, and then inherently feel emasculated because of that. I know this is kind of a general thing to do, but is this where we are still? We're still having these conversations about it's an outlier for a woman to be making that much money. It's just this idea that
who's saying it? Who's saying it? Is he worried about it? Is she worried about? Well, that's just one person. I mean,
yeah. Well, but it's not. It's sort of evidence of this larger growing trend where we're sort of people are being reduced to these very traditional boxes that I thought in the 90s, even early 2000s, that we were really clawing and scraping our way out of. And I thought fifth wave feminism, shout out Miley Cyrus, shout out Cardi B, I thought fifth wave feminism was sort of reclaiming this idea that women are sexual entities and valuable outside of their worth, but can still use sexuality. It's just really regressive. It's what's scaring me. And it's also very much informative, and it is teaching men and women how to date and how to be, along with a lot of TikTok content and social media content. And it's crazy. I wish that you could drop into one or two episodes of these conversations that these men are talking about, high value women, or no, I really need my husband to just lead. What does that mean to you?
I don't know. It is odd to hear about, because when we were coming up, it was let's do everything we can to get away from that. So who are these shows for? Real quick, let's say Married at First Sight. What do you think? Age range, sex?
Hold on. I know you hear my dog barking. Hold on a minute.
I do.
Ethan took care of it. That is really interesting.
So if we rapid fire it on that, Married at First Sight.
Traditionally, for women of a certain age like me.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's weird. So Love Island is a little bit of an outlier. That skews a lot younger. But Married at First Sight it used to be on A&E, which kind of tells you who the audience is there. It's women, older. And the contestants on Married at First Sight skew a little bit older. There are some young ones. There's some woohoo people on there. There's one couple who she's 24 and he's 26. And she's talking about, I need to get married. I need to get married.
What about...
Man, your frontal cortex is not formed yet. You don't need to do nothing but just grow your brain. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I think, that's what the disconnect is between because the shows are reflecting this cultural shift, but the audiences that are receiving it, like me, especially from Married at First Sight, are kind of Gen X millennial people. And we're just kind of this doesn't resonate. I don't recognize this. It doesn't resonate with me. Love Island, very, very different audience, right? That's for the for the youth. Love Island's for the youth. I don't know. Who do you think the audience is for Ultimatum? That's a hard one. Who do you think it is for?
I would have thought it was more closer to our age people, mid 30s and up, maybe when it first started, at least.
Yeah.
What do you like about them? Like right now, the dating shows of 2026. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that worries you. What keeps you coming back? What keeps you, wanting to be glued in?
That's really that is a very hard question for me to answer. I mean, habit? I mean, I mean, I don't know. I've said this many times to you and whoever will listen. Like, I don't like to be left out of things. And when there is a
Right, but
culture
there's
called
9 million shows on right now, so you're not going to watch
well,
them all. You can watch
right.
a certain amount, and you watch pretty much your certain amount, but
Yeah.
you could watch something like so at this point, like next season of Love Island, where do you stand before seeing anything about it?
I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch it because I want to go where the eyeballs is. As a cultural anthropologist and sort of like a, person who identifies like sociological patterns, the thing that a lot of people are watching is where I'm gonna go, and that is just a very fancy way to say I don't wanna feel left out. I have FOMO. So, if I'm on my social medias or if I am looking through my entertainment news and they're all talking about the show, i.e. Ultimatum or i.e. Married at First Sight, that's where I'm
I
gonna go.
gotcha.
I don't I don't know that I enjoy it though, and that is
Yeah.
really wild. It's like I'm seeing this shift, and I wonder if our parents or our aunts or the older generation had the same experience, maybe like when MTV came around or
Oh yeah.
when
Yeah.
streaming started to happen, like they just felt so disconnected to the media that they were
Well,
seeing on their screen. Is that a thing?
I do. I mean, recently it's worried me in some movie cases. I've brought it up on here, like having a little disconnect from new horror, like the body horror stuff of it
Mm,
all. And the certain ways people lampoon serious things these days, they seem to make such a mockery out of it sometimes. It makes me think like it goes so outlandish, like it's never going to be that. Like you're losing the point of the thing you're making fun of because you made it seem so absurd to begin with, when in reality, those are things to be worried about.
are
But
you
like,
speaking about Obsession?
no, I wasn't really. I mean,
That's
probably
immediately
my
what came to mind.
biggest thing of that was the Blink Twice from last year, I think. But Obsession of this year is what got the conversation going again, because I was like, what am I missing? Because The Substance was such a huge hit and I could not
Oof.
stand it. And sure, that
Yeah.
happens. You're not going to love every movie that's a big hit. Like The Substance that year was, the most outlier since like Black Swan 10 years before that. Like,
Yeah.
I did not get it. I did not, even when the people I saw it with in the theater, like as a whole, not like just the person I was with, and people were scoffing at it. They were laughing. And next thing I knew, it was winning every award you could possibly have.
Yeah.
And The
It was a
Substance
hard
was
one.
wildly popular, and I did not care for it. So, but there is that thing, I think, as you get older, like, is it that? Is it just that?
Yeah, is that what I'm experiencing? Because, I mean, I've watched reality TV. I mean, like from the very first minute that 5 strangers were picked to live in a loft in
I
New
was
York
right
City
there.
in 1990, and I was like, this is, I mean, it's quite literally my entire scholarship. I have studied reality TV in a way that, some people like study, biophysics or whatever. I guess biophysics is a thing. I don't think I may have made it up, but
We don't know of any reality shows about it, so.
I bet you there is one though. I bet you there's so many out there, but I don't know, especially these dating ones. And because I'm so far out of that phase of my life
That,
that
I think, has something else to do with it. Like, what is going to be attractive to you about some 25-year-old dudes, that are trying to date girls? Like, man, that's such a hard, what interest do you have, like, in what a 25-year-old guy is going to have to say to interest you to, like, pursue each other? Like, that's very out, it is kind of far
you
removed
know,
for us.
I also gave up on The Golden Bachelor though, too, because I found it boring.
Well,
Maybe
that's
I mean,
even older. That's an even farther separation in age, I think, isn't it? Like,
well,
just the
Jeff,
other
you
way.
might be underestimating how old we are, but like I think the
No, it's real.
um they're yeah, they were not more older than these folks are younger. So like the Golden
Well,
Bachelor
that's
is
what I
like
was
maybe 10
wondering.
or 10
But
or
it's
12
still,
or
it's an
15 years
age
older.
gap. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
decent
it
age gap.
is.
They're not 5
So
years
like,
older.
yeah, but I'm just worried about what this particular culture, this moment in culture is doing, especially for women. And, I'm always on my Julia Sugarbaker box, but like, what kinds of relationships are men out here expecting and wanting their women, their female partners to perform? Because in truth, I believe that men and women, as they are growing up and learning how to date and learning these gender politics and inner relationship politics, are learning two different things. And because now we wanted to start telling our daughters, like, oh my gosh, you're super independent, you can do whatever you want, your life is your own, you have agency over your body, and things are really yours for the taking. But we are not teaching young men how to be with women like that. And that is
Well,
what you're
maybe,
starting to see. And that's what you're starting to see on these reality shows, that these women are really kind of coming out of the gate saying, oh, I'm very self-possessed. And these men are coming out low-key hating them for being women. And it's just alarm bells are going off for me.
but
I'm calling alarms.
I'm saying that could be a thing for you. It's also a window into the dating world of today for people that
Yeah.
age. And so for you who teaches people that age, like you see them in a classroom and in certain settings, but now you get to see what they would be like out there. And, the dating shows aren't a normal
Yeah.
scenario.
And
I mean, those are heightened situations and everything, but
yeah.
maybe it is. Maybe that's a reason to watch, though, is that it is a window into certain groups and how they behave. And as you are someone who teaches pop culture as anthropology, it's part of the makeup, of what we would be as a people. So it's
And
a window in.
it's wild, too, how prudish this particular generation has become. Like, I show an episode of Jersey Shore in one of my classes. There's this very specific episode where they are kind of like coming at one of the female castmates for having a lot of sexual partners, where what we know that the Jersey Shore male castmates really pride themselves on going out and having sex with as many women as possible. So the whole idea of the episode is to demonstrate a double standard. But my students can't get over the lasciviousness of it, right? Like, they are scandalized that these people are even bringing home people to their apartments on the first date, man or woman. And like, what, you're at a club and you're like tonguing down some stranger? What? That's wild. And it's just very different than how we grew up in the early 2000s. Like, these kids wouldn't make it. They wouldn't make it,
But
Jeff.
that's one. Oh no, not at all. Um, but there's one side of it also, right? There's a whole lot of people in their 20s, men and women, who are showing themselves off more than ever before, right? Like, and that's the way they communicate with the world, by
In what
showing themselves
context?
off physically, like
Oh, you
in
mean like
the
OnlyFans?
like cam people, yeah, like
Yeah, that's a really good
online sex
point.
workers.
That's a really good point,
And
because
no
this
one is,
generation.
there's much less looking down on that. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
it's not near as looked down upon. So it's not really one way. It is, you can find both extremes out there. And not
But like, how are we
every joke
reconciling that?
like not everyone at University of Georgia back in 1998 would have wanted to go on a reality show, just like they wouldn't in 2026. So, I mean, you're
Yeah,
seeing a small group of people,
right. But because of the way anthropology works, like, we take that sample and use it as a bellwether. But I
yeah,
am really interested in what you're saying too about how are we reconciling this particular
you need to watch
rise.
more online porn, is what I'm saying.
Well, listen, don't threaten me with a good time. Okay. Um,
All right.
but it's just, that's a really interesting point, and one that I had not necessarily like kind of come up with in my own situation. But like, yeah, I mean, and what is the difference in values and principles and learning and teaching between the sect of culture that is participating in this online sex work versus these folks who think sex is gross and are mad that they're having to watch sex scenes in a movie?
Yeah. I think some of that's a put on also, right? There's some people that act like that out in public. Like, oh, I don't want to see that. Yeah, you do. Yes, you do.
But did you notice that the Odyssey was fairly PG? There was not a lot of sex. Compare it to Troy, right? Which was, 15 years ago? I don't know.
More years ago.
Oh no. Anyway.
Gotta be a solid 20.
Compare it to those. And remember how all of Twitter, the world was that we saw Brad Pitt's booty and there wasn't one sex scene in Odyssey. I mean, there was one between Penelope
but there's not a lot in Christopher
chaste.
Nolan. That would have been wild. If there was a bunch of sex scenes in a Christopher Nolan movie, that would have been that would have been really not a thing.
I mean, but think about the last 10 movies that you've seen this year. Have you seen a lot of well,
that's
Carla's home.
The prestige auteur filmmaker isn't going to do what is going to sell out the, Cineplex all the time either.
Tell that to David Lynch.
Okay. Why?
I mean, I'm just saying.
He didn't make mainstream movies. That's what I'm saying, is that those big idea filmmakers.
Or Quentin Tarantino. Or you know what I'm saying? That I'm just saying that the trend is going a little bit more, conservative. And not conservative politically, but I'm just saying conservative in terms of the way we are. Little House on the Prairie, which I hate how all things always come back to
maybe you're just watching a bunch of prudish shit. I'm out here, rock and roll, man. Let's do it like always. Maybe this is something about Sunday.
Maybe, but I'm just saying that it says something that Little House on the Prairie is the number one watch show right now, and they wouldn't even show us Caroline's face in labor pains, much less any sort of Bound Chicka Wow Wow. So I don't know.
You want to see labor pains? Watch The Pit. You get all you want. One scene.
I saw a baby come out of a woman on The Pit.
That's what I'm saying. There's both out there. I think there's both. There's a lot.
But I mean, the sexual gratuity. I think that's a real tell in our culture, and just start noticing it now. Just when you start watching new movies and stuff, how much Obsession. There wasn't any real gratuitous sex in that.
There is a move to be we don't need as much sex in movies. I know, but not. I don't know if it's just from a prudish thing as much as they're not always that cool anyway. I mean, they're really not.
I don't know. We'll see. Risky Business has one of the steamiest sex scenes I can
Jesus,
remember.
I'm not saying every single sex scene in every movie isn't worth watching. I'm just saying as a whole, Little Miss Sweeping Generalizations over here is going to try and call me out.
You're the sweeping generalizationist.
Take us to the hot goss. Come on.
Okay, so we already talked about the Sally Carson of it all. I want to talk a little bit about this Jax Taylor fucking his publicist business.
Fucking their publicist when it started. Theirs to begin with. Yeah.
And so that is not really the news that I am super interested in. The news that I am super duper interested in is that rumor has it that Bravo has picked cameras up to go back into production, I guess, to get Britney's reaction to it all. And remember, Jax is not on the Valley anymore, so they're not. They're not getting any content, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they are. Jesus Christ in the manger, fingers crossed they would. But they are quite literally picking cameras back up, just like they did with Summer House, just like they did with Scandival on Vanderpump, to what? Get Britney's reaction to it?
I don't know. I hadn't even heard that part of it. So TBD.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Which we're not there at the Valley. We are solidly 8 seasons from this moment in the Valley.
Oh yeah, so we're away.
In a year and a half, folks. In a year and a half, we'll talk about.
I feel bad, jumping ahead and watching some Vanderpump Villa already.
Yeah,
but that's interesting. That's very, very interesting.
What got any hot guys? Well, I got.
I saw some. We talked about some Emmy stuff. I know the Widow's Bay we did mention the other day. 19 nods though. Yeah. I didn't know it was that many. That was something.
I didn't know either. I have 19?
a couple Apple TV things actually. That morning show came out and announced the next season is going to be its final one.
I think it's time.
I think it's time too, but in a good way. Yeah. I really have enjoyed it. I don't mind that it's wrapping up, but I've enjoyed it from jump.
Yeah, the last season took a little. It was more of like a caper that I liked, and so I'm glad to see it go out on a high note.
I hope so. Yeah, and one we've been talking about a lot, Cape Fear. I did notice this week when you look things up, it does say S1E1, like season 1. So, and nothing says limited series, nothing says just one thing. So I'm wondering if this is a series, possibly an anthology type thing where they could have different characters be in a similar situation next time.
That feels like a little bit of a bastardization of this particular institution, right? Like,
just wondering.
Come on.
Just one. Yeah. I mean, you know how they do, though. I don't know. I finally picked up the book formerly known as The Executioners, now just known as Cape Fear, apparently, by John McDonald. So I am not going to finish Odyssey. Nope.
Ever?
I mean, I might. So it's going to stay by the bed, but I'm not. That's not coming to the beach with us next week.
Not bringing the Odyssey, the toll on the beach.
Nope. No.
So I am rewatching Lucifer too, and so did you watch the series?
Is that Hot Goss?
Lies? No, it is not Hot Goss, but I'm linking it back to. I'm linking it back to a Hot Goss situation.
I have wanted to look into it though, of course, because of our Anastasia.
Because he also appeared on the show Tell Me Lies, that has also been recently renewed, and that show is brilliant, and maybe because it's set in 2006, I don't know. Do you watch Tell Me Lies? Does Brooke watch it? That feels like that would be a real Brooke joint.
We haven't, but I've thought about looking into it.
It's really good. But
we just finished it's Hulu, right?
Yeah.
All right, we just wrapped something up on there, so we can move on over.
Yeah, it's one of those shows too, but they've announced that it's coming back. I don't think I looked at all of the Emmy news. Did Friends and Neighbors get any nods?
I didn't see that. Speaking of our Apple TV, so I don't
know. Robbed.
I still haven't watched the season, actually.
Oh my gosh! Listen, this is Hot Goss right here. I will watch anything that John Hamm is in. I have been totally.
I loved the first time. I just haven't.
Since he was the hot dummy doctor on 30 Rock. That was my very first introduction to John Hamm.
You saw him on that before Mad Men?
Yes. Remember, I just watched Mad Men like this year. Me and Carla literally just watched Mad Men this year.
That is Hot Goss. That's insane. I just
you heard
watched
it
for like the third time.
I know. Well, Brooke mentioned The Americans, and so I'm going to have to watch The Americans because Carla's going to love it. She's watched it too, but I haven't ever seen it before either.
Well, yeah, let's see. The World Cup was a success. Way to go, America. We did
I really wanted to have like a traditionally Spanish meal because Spain won, but we do not have a Spanish-themed restaurant in Columbus. So you're going to have to make us some tapas and some stuff for our Spanish-themed World Cup stuff.
Oh, all right. Tapas and stuff coming up.
Feels like that's for you to sort out, okay? Like whatever the menu is, that's for you to sort out. I just want it to be Spanish themed so we can celebrate the World Cup winning.
I love it. Well, thanks for talking anthropology and all the other stuff with me. Any more reminders for our folks?
Just why do I say vampire? What is happening in my brain when I want to say vampire roles? Like I don't know. But we're chugging along. We are halfway through season 5. Like people, we're burning through them. And so I would really like for you guys to like go and rate and review us on wherever you get podcasts, which somebody corrected my grammar. Apparently wherever is not a real thing. I need to say anywhere.
Wherever you get your podcast is going to be just fine.
Anywhere you get your podcasts. But
there you go. Anywhere you get them.
So that is my colloquialisms kind of like poisoning my speech. But at Take a Pinot Pod at Instagram, I worked really hard on that stupid freaking Zodiac thing. Y'all go and like it and comment on it. Swear to God. Jeff is Peter. I'm Ariana. And you can watch this on YouTube when I eventually upload it. And you can see all of my animals and children, all of the nonsense that happens at my house.
I love it. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Bye.